I know we start most of these property tours, but this is a really impressive house, and this one absolutely is. You've got a courtyard off of the entry of the home, 2 wet bars in the property, an island that's double the size of most you see. Stick around until the end. We'll show you every part of the home. At the end, we'll give you our favorites, and I want you to comment down below if you see something that you really like. Let us know down in the comments. Without further ado, this is the Courtland Reverse by Don Julian Builders. 4 beds, 4 and 2 half baths, 4,270 square feet, big for a reverse 1.5. It's on 1/3 of an acre walkout lot. Now this is located in Bristol Highlands, Lenexa, Shawnee, probably some of the best lots, and they just opened up a new phase. We'll leave some info in the description. This one's priced at $1,297,270. Now, starting with the elevation, Jordan, you know what I love about this one?
I think you like that it's on a corner lot, right?
I like that it's on a side entry garage, but it sits so high up. It's well above grade. We are kind of on a hill. We're going up a hill right here. And part of what you'll see in Western Shawnee and Lenexa, a lot of hills. It makes for some great views off of the deck. But I do want to point out you've got a ton of stone on the front. We are west facing, so we're filming this in the morning. That's why it's so dark. But you've got this, I love the dark mortar. Jordan, what do you think about it?
The dark mortar around the stone, it is very, very pretty. I like that retaining wall too. Real nice natural look. The black windows, the stucco, black gutters.
What I love is that you're not seeing 3-car garage in the front of the house. It's wrapped around the side. So lots of curb appeal. Again, I think they utilize the corner lot very, very well. And right across the street, Jordan, looks a little familiar.
Yeah, the Madison too. We just did that over at Terrybrook.
So Jordan and I, we walked through, and the finishes are nearly identical.
And not just the finishes, but the staging as well, right?
Some of the staging furniture made its way over there, which I think is very impressive. It's hard to find materials that were used in a home built a couple years ago. But anyway, that's another model here at Bristol Highlands. And you can see you've got that side entry garage. They did take the stone around to this side too.
So one thing I'm noticing, Nick, I think there's 2 or 3 trees in the front yard. You've got this tree on the side. That's some sort of arborvitae, I think. Got one there in the back in the corner. And then look how many trees along the lot line.
That's right.
Just a really nice landscaping job.
Very upgraded landscaping. Here you've got the soffit down lighting, which is very nice. That actually goes all the way around the house. So if you have guests over, there's a lot of anticipation here, right? You drive up, maybe they park in the driveway, and then to get to the front of the house, they're walking around here. Now this nice reveal, ton of stone, and then a beautiful sitting area on the porch. Jordan, are you big on the sitting areas?
I like a big front porch. I think it just adds to the entryway. It just makes it more welcoming.
Absolutely, and just these soaring stone columns here. Really a neat touch on the house.
Yep, and it's really cool. I don't know what you'd call it, but kind of like a pyramid shape, right? They're wider at the bottom and cinch up there at the top.
Before we go inside, big thank you to Don Julian for letting us show the house. It's a beautiful model. Also, big thank you to the on-site agents, Heather and Danette. Their contact info will be down in the description below. We're both with Weichert Realtors, Welch and Company. We haven't met before. My name's Nick. I've got Jordan. He's right behind. You saw him in the intro. We help people buy and build new homes around Kansas City. We're excited to show this one to you. It's got a lot of value packed into it. Well, let's take a look inside.
Come on, Jordan. Hi, Nick. What do we got today?
We've got a pretty impressive house, something that you really won't see too often. But before we go to, I know usually we go to the main area of the home, we turn around, we show you the entry. We're going to do that. But before we do, to our left, that's exactly what you think it is.
Yep, just a ton to break down here in this foyer.
So I do want to preface this with this home, we probably showed you the price in the intro, $1,297,270. It's a model. This is Bristol Highlands, probably the best new home community in Western Shawnee, some of the best lot options. But the reason I want to bring this up is because you do have 4 beds, but every single bedroom has a private bathroom. You've got 2 additional guest bathrooms, so half baths, right off the entry, we've got a bonus office space. So there's a ton of value. And the price per square foot here is about $303, which is insane. And usually that's not a good metric, but based on the finishes inside of here, based on the value you get with this house, there's a whole lot here. So a quick shot of the living area.
Just a little sneak peek.
And we'll start with the entry. And yes, to your left, that is a wet bar. There are two of them in this house, but we'll start right here. So of course you've got to have the French doors, transom window up top. As we talked about in the exterior of the home, black windows inside and out. They're all casement windows, which the cost to do something like that, black material, you got to make it differently. It's more expensive. They spared no expense. But Jordan, welcome to the office here.
Yep.
So true office, there's no closet, there's no full bath over here. True office here. You do have this recessed wall, which is really nice. And then of course, maybe Jordan, if we come back here, let's get a shot from the desk.
So you're sitting at your desk, right? And you've got this beautiful view of your private courtyard on the side of the house.
Now we did talk, Jordan, you know, your office, you want it to be private. You don't want distractions. You know, eventually blinds up here, shades, but this is quite a view. Now, coming this way, it is really nice because you do have the tall ceilings are about, what would we say, 12 feet tall?
I'd say those are about 12.
Maybe even taller than that. You've got the pretty big entry, so very formal. And then off to your right, we've got a pretty incredible wet bar off the main floor. So this is the perfect house for an entertainer. Jordan, what do you think of that? I think it's quartz. Yep, that's quartz.
Yep, quartz counter. Really nice little bar space right there.
What do you think of not formal backsplash, but the gold plates?
I think that's really cool looking, you know, and it's got some depth to it.
It does. It does.
So,
it adds some texture. I like the decorative glass panes in the cabinet doors, but remember that gold because you're going to see it a couple more times in the house. Just a little foreshadowing.
So what's really cool about this mini bar, it's just right across from this courtyard here. You've got the big double slider doors.
And yep, that's a waterfall, which is perfect. Creates a lot of privacy, kind of white noise.
And this is a really good sized space out here. You know, they've got these two lounge chairs.
Now, Jordan, we did talk about, you know, you do have a neighbor right to your right on the other side of this courtyard. But we talked about maybe some larger plants, a little bit taller, to really create some privacy. But again, the reason we started with the preface, the price per square foot, usually that's not a great metric, but with a home like this, to have this outdoor living at this price per square foot is pretty nuts.
Those are heavy doors too, Nick.
They are heavy doors. Now, of course, now we'll get started with the main living areas of the home. So you've got this huge family room. Again, you've got the black windows, a lot of contrast. And then you've got the dark beams, which very carefully follow the curvature and the lines on the ceiling. And we did mention that gold accent you saw on the wet bar. You've got these, I wouldn't call them inlay, kind of overlays. They're hiding the seam in what I believe is the tile fireplace. We spent quite a bit of time looking for other seams. We couldn't find any. So this appears to be one solid piece as well as the one above.
It's absolutely beautiful. And then you've got the picture windows on each side, really bringing in a lot of natural light.
Now, I do want to touch on the floors. These are engineered hardwood floors. They've got a nice texture to them. But Jordan, what I love about them is this nice warm tone that you've got to them.
Yep. Real natural look too.
It is. Yeah. And then, you know, the nice thing about this plan is depending on the home you're walking through, these dining areas can kind of feel like an afterthought sometimes. Sometimes they feel really small. I love that they staged it with the bigger table. And you've got all of this space right here, which, Jordan, we don't see this too often in many floor plans.
Nope. A lot of times, you know, they have that 4-seater round table or something like that. Really plenty of space. And if I back up, Nick, I mean, how about that space right there on the island?
So Jordan and I went back and forth on this. I think this is pretty impressive. You've got not quite a two-tier, but there's definitely a drop down from each different slab. This is probably as big of a slab as you can get without having to cut it, where there's a seam in the middle of the island. And then I love that you've got this whole separate seating area. Again, big entertainment house. It's the perfect layout for it. You know, we did talk about the cabinets to the ceiling. You know, at this price, maybe some of the other homes you might see that, but the reason they didn't take them to the ceiling is they would have just been, you would have needed a ladder to get up there. But you've just got these very tall ceilings.
Yeah, I think the cabinets alone, those are 10 foot right there.
Easily. And of course, you've got kind of the decorative glass doors there, which I think is a nice look. Now, I like that you've got the additional perimeter here. You've got it here as well. Textured tile on the backsplash. Everything in here, as you can probably guess, is soft close. And then you do have the pantry with a ton of storage. I really like the door on the pantry.
Yep, swing door, very cool.
Yeah, I know if I was to build this, it's very popular nowadays in the pantry. A lot of people, they want the counter space. Maybe you want a second oven or microwave. If you do build this, I believe you've got the space there for it. Now, Jordan, everything back here, we've got the master. We've also got the guest bedroom. We'll get to this in a second, but what do you think about starting with the deck?
I think it's a good idea.
It's Bristol Highlands, Western Shawnee, also Lenexa. You're not too far from the city center, but very popular area, a lot of building going on. They're selling very quickly, and they've got a brand new phase. Jordan, I know your favorite thing about this area.
I think this property is absolutely amazing. I don't know if you guys can tell in the picture, but I mean, the views here, I mean, you've got the rolling hills. It's just beautiful, and all the trees, a lot of privacy.
Exactly. And Jordan, if we get a shot at a future phase here, I mean, those lots, they're not available yet. Please reach out if you have questions, if you want early access. Those lots, you sit at a pretty high elevation, which means you get to see the treetops around the city. Probably one of the things that makes Western Shawnee and Lenexa one of the best places for outdoors types people. If you want the views, this is where you find it. But back to the deck, I love the size. It's pretty big, yeah?
Yep. Very good sized deck. You've got your 6-seater table there. Tall ceilings too, Nick, with the ceiling fan, recessed lights.
2 staples that you got to have on every deck. I firmly believe composite decking. It's probably the only way to go. It doesn't cost that much more, but it saves a lot of headache. I also like the fortress rail. I'm not the biggest fan of treated lumber. And you know I love to see kind of the wrought iron look.
Oh yeah.
And then they went ahead. This is it's a partial walkout, and we'll get to that here in a second, but they went ahead and you've got the deck stairs down, which those can cost anywhere from like $7,500 to $12,000, sometimes more. So they've taken care of that for you.
Yeah, you don't see it on every build.
You don't. You definitely don't. And it's something that always comes up. Now, coming back in, 8-foot doors throughout the house. The tall ceilings are very nice. I actually like the hood. The shape of it looks pretty neat. So back to where we kind of were before we diverted. So master bedroom behind us. You got this nice little, we'll get to it in a second. You got the partial walkout. So they forced it a little bit, kind of daylight / walkout lot, but you've got the access. And then I'd like to start us right back here. So notice a hallway, which I think is important. Jordan, you made a great point, which is it creates a lot of privacy back here. You do have the garage entry. This would be the coat closet area. You've got the linen built-ins in there, which is perfect. And then Jordan, yeah, if you want to show the mud bench.
Yep, little 2-3-seater mud bench there. You've got your cubbies, coat hanger hooks. Tall door into this first bedroom, Nick.
Yeah, 8-foot doors throughout the main floor. Of course, pretty good size. Again, This is the guest bedroom on the main floor. You do have that separate office. And really, with the reverse, we typically only see 4 bedrooms. So to have that office space is pretty impressive. You do have a walk-in closet, which is another thing on main floor guest bedrooms. You don't always have them. And you've got the full bath.
Yep, really nice tiled floor. Nice vanity.
All right, coming back this way. We have one of Jordan's favorite bathrooms. There are two things he always comments on them. Absolutely, I'm being a little sarcastic with this one, but this is a model. They're going all out. They're making some bold choices. Jordan, I know the kind of sink sitting on the top is not your favorite look, but
Not my favorite.
but the
Maybe kind of hard to clean at times too. And then you do have that black
you,
toilet.
you got the black toilet. You got to make a statement in these models.
I do like the green though. I will say that. I like the green. They took it to the ceiling as well. Really
the
nice.
Courtyard theme. And of course, you know, we saw this in the Madison 2. We toured it, posted that recently. I'll link it down in the description. Madison 2, 1.5 story tall ceilings. They did a nice little recess cutout like this in the entry of that. But coming into the master.
Whoa, look at the beams, Nick.
I like I like the light fixture. The ceiling heights are a big deal for me. I like the tall ceilings in this one. And of course, you've got the 3 black windows trim around, nice little sitting area. And then, Jordan, if you come over this way, maybe we can show the size. And of course, you've got French doors into the master bath, exposed hardware on top. And this is an impressive one. A lot of details in this home. So starting with the vanity, you know, we kind of discussed this, you know, if I was to build, I might not want these, I might want more counter space. And that's the nice thing about building. But what I like is you got the nice little alcove, the trim work on top. I think it's really neat.
That is super cool. A lot of detail.
I actually really like this slab too. It's a pretty neat look. And then turning around, we've got the freestanding tub, trim around, nice little window up top. And then what I like about this, a lot of showers we walk through, Jordan, you know, a lot of them, it's like full glass. I like that this is more private. You've got the accent tile up there. And you get a nice little bench area in the back, which is very important.
And you've got dual shower heads and a little bench. And a water closet.
Very tall ceilings here in the closet, just like storage on storage on storage.
And you even got that window in there, and then it's nice how they use that space with the shelving around it.
Now, we've seen a lot of patterned tile. A lot of patterned tile. It's big in the laundry rooms. It's big sometimes in powder rooms, but I like the size of this, and I like that they did the trim color the same as the wall, so everything really blends in here. And this is a pretty neat upgrade.
Yep, that is very cool.
This is Formica. It's not like a granite or quartz. I just want to point that out because it always comes up. Of course, beauty of building it is that you get to choose whichever finishes you want. But beautiful wall of glass here. And Jordan, show us the
all right, level. So you come downstairs and you've got the same engineered hardwood on the landing. They went all out with this carpet, didn't they, Nick?
They did.
It's got quite the pattern in it.
You know, we were talking before, there are a lot of bold choices that are made in these models. And, you know, it might not be your cup of tea, but I think the main point of this video, the floor plan, the layout itself, it's quite impressive.
Where should we start?
Why don't we start with the wet bar?
All right.
Wet bar number 2.
So you walk downstairs, right? You got your rec room on one side and bedrooms are on the other, but you've got this huge island wet bar. Really great for entertaining. You know, something Nick and I were talking about, they put this cushion backsplash back here. I mean, it's just like an old seat cushion almost, so right? But very cool. Gives it a very classic look, I think. Super dark cabinets, dark granite countertops down here. You've got your spot for the fridge, little wine rack.
Well, I love the stain color. It's like an ebony stain, very, very bar-like. And then you've got this curved edge on the island, which is pretty neat.
Show them, and then also the curve in the sheetrock there that matches. Very cool.
I like that the ceiling hangs a little bit lower. What I love about it is got a very masculine, the very dark bar, but it balances it very nicely with the light flooring. So
yeah, so this living area down here, it's almost like you have two separate ones, maybe an entertainment on one side, put a table over here, maybe a kids play area. And so like we talked about, this is a daylight lot. So you have all these windows to daylight. You don't have the egress concrete surround around them. Really nice look, black windows inside and out.
Which the nice thing is, if you built this on a true walkout, I believe the door would be either to your left or right here. It'd be one of those two locations. What's nice about this is you get the full usable space, so you don't have to worry about furniture in front of a doorway. And you got these beautiful windows. Again, black windows downstairs. It's not inexpensive to do.
No. So then you do have a little half bath here off the rec room.
Can you wave? You're right in the mirror. There we go. So that would be another nice thing about the plan. You had the powder room upstairs, the black toilet, Jordan's favorite faucet and sink, but really there's a lot of value. Most of the time, the ratios we see is usually like a 4-bed, 3-bath. This has 2 half baths. I think there's a ton of value in that.
Yeah.
Again, entertainer house.
So all the bedrooms off to the side, you got a little storage area, really good size underneath the stairs. And then bedroom 1 and 2, let's go in here first, Nick. Here you do have kind of that daylight look, but it's got the egress, right? This is on the side of the home.
And they painted, or is that stucco? It looks like they painted the concrete, which is nice.
Yeah, and then you have the nice tile floor. Oh, with a big walk-in closet back here, Nick.
I love the closet in the bathroom. I really like it.
Do you like how it's separated versus being in the room?
Right behind you, they got the hooks.
Yeah, yeah, this is a huge closet.
It really is. So you got the enamel paint, which you'd see on like cabinets, but what that does is it prevents scratching if anything rubs up against the walls here.
Beautiful stand-up shower. You know, you've got your glass, and check that tile out, dude. That is super cool. It looks like concrete, and it has those textured lines in it.
I'm a big fan of this quartz as well. Got a really nice look to it. And this is bedroom number 4, right? Number 4?
Yeah, bedroom number 4, number 2 downstairs. Definitely has a little bit bigger feel than that one. That would be next to the front of the house. So it's got a little shorter ceilings where the HVAC equipment runs through there up above. Really size-wise, I think it's about the same size. It just has a taller ceiling. Same thing with the window. You've got your black window, egress. So almost daylight, just not quite there. And then also private bathroom and another big walk-in closet.
Very similar finishes. Very good sized closets in these bedrooms. Now we do have one last part of the video. Jordan's going to tell you his favorite part. I'll give you mine. Before we do that, thank you again to the on-site agents with Weichert, Welch and Company, Heather and Danette. We'll leave their information down below. Thank you to Don Julian for letting us tour their homes. This is a really impressive model. They've got quite a few others that we featured on this channel, and I'll leave that link down below in the description. If you have any questions about buying or building a new construction home, whether it's something like this or anywhere around the Kansas City area, please go ahead and reach out. There's so many different communities, builders, floor plans to choose from. We want to really set you up for success and show you some of the best options that are on the market that can save you some time and money. With that said, Jordan, favorite part of the plan?
My favorite part, can you go first? I want to hear yours first.
You want to hear mine?
I want to hear yours.
So there's a lot that I like about the plan. I think the entry is very impressive. You got 2 wet bars in the house. You got 2 half bathrooms. Every bedroom has a full bathroom. I'd have to say this is probably one of the most impressive entries that we've been able to feature. I mean, you got the wet bar, you've got the office, the French doors, tall ceilings, the courtyard with a waterfall behind us. I mean, this is a very impressive entry, and that would have to be my favorite part of the house.
It's extremely unique.
It is.
I mean,
It
like
is.
I said, I don't think we've seen it. So I like how the floor plan is laid out. So kind of like we discussed, you come in here, this is all entertainment. You've got the courtyard, the wet bar, beautiful living space. And then the bedrooms and the stairwell are tucked behind the kitchen, so off the garage entry, which I find a lot of privacy. And then you go downstairs and the bedrooms are right there to the left, and then the rec room right to the right. I just think it's laid out really well.
Yeah, it does have a great layout. And again, for the value, I get that this is in a higher price point, but when it comes to that, price per square foot isn't the best metric in the world, but to be able to do something like this, and you've got a bonus office space, which is rare in a reverse 1.5, and you're a walkout, and you've got stairs down from the deck, and you've got a double aisle. There's just so much of this house going back. So let us know down in the comments below, what was your favorite part of this property? If you were to build it, is there anything that you'd do differently? Are there any designs that really stood out to you that you'd like to replicate? Let us know in the comments below. That's all for this one. And before you go, we're going to put 2 videos on the screen. One is a tour of the Madison 2. It's a reverse 1.5-story home. And are you pointing to the video?
I'm pointing to the video.
Video
I don't know what's
2.
coming next.
This will be the Bristol Highlands community video. We'll show you it's some of the best lots in Kansas City. Click here or here. We'll see you on the other side.